Okay. I have been trying to make this video all week, but due to circumstances out of my control, it hasn't happened. I'm obviously, let's just say that everything is just fucked. And I don't really care if you don't like the way I talk. I don't really care if you don't like the verbs or adjectives or nouns that I use to describe things. But, you know, there's a reporter, you know, who worked for Fox that really, really, really wants to go run with our story, right? Run with what all we have uncovered, all the depth, all the documentation, everything that we have, all the receipts on senators, House reps, you name it. He really wants to run it. But in order to do so, he has to have a parent of a kid actually either in the schools now or at some point has been in there. Now, I have a very close friend of mine who could do that and would do that. Unfortunately, due to the superintendent named Will Schofield and his law firm PKKN Law and the law partner of Corey Kirby, allowing their client to threaten parents repeatedly, you know, there was once upon a time, I could make a phone call. Once upon a time, I could send one email. Once upon a time, I could call somebody and everything would be taken care of. Everybody would be removed. Everybody that needed to have their ass handed to them would have their ass handed to them. That's no longer the case. Would you like to know why? I've already said this before, but I'm going to say it one more time. The reason why is because absolutely everybody in the state of Georgia, and that's not an exaggeration, I have just a terabyte worth of data sitting, or documentation on this, which was accessed legally. Everybody in the state of Georgia, elected officials, senators, House reps, handpicked people by Kemp, you name it, they're involved at every level. For some reason, these people are the very same people that, you know, cheered me on and was like, you know, super proud of the way I advocated and got things done for kids. And they were always, you know, my biggest supporters. And that, you know, it's really baffling to me that the very people that wanted me to keep pushing and wanted me to keep advocating and stay pesky, their words, not mine. It's really weird to me that they're the same people that are ghosting me. They're the same people that know what's going on, and they've known what's going on, and they also know I got the receipts on their darling senators on that literacy committee that I helped get y'all. So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. All right, I'm after this. Just know I'm done advocating. By the way, I will never ever touch another Georgia poll session. I will never help another legislator. I will never help anybody get elected. If anything, my energy going forward is going to be getting you all fired and removed because you've allowed this to go on for years, decades, 2 decades, and the fact that you're parading around Nathan Dill and or Sandra Dill as if they're like a godsend. Okay, Sandra, we'll leave her out. Nathan, he's Satan. Y'all all know that. You all know that. G-Nets, per somebody in my text messages, I was really hoping that, you know, when Trump came into office the first time, that they would go ahead and get rid of that G-Nets case. Yeah, that was said to me, meaning they already knew. Everybody knows that Nathan Dill got the state of Georgia into trouble because of G-Nets. And G-Nets, in that case, well, out of the numerous cases that came from the state-sponsored schools. In this particular one, let me just do a little history for you guys one more time. In this particular one with the DOJ versus the state of Georgia and Nathan Dill, it was regarding the use of mental health trauma therapy and experiments on children inside of state-sponsored schools who had been segregated from their peers in the public schools all over the district, all over the state. They were segregating kids based off of disabilities. They were segregating the children based off of cognitive everything. I mean, there were nonverbal children. There were, like, the things that were done to these kids, the things that I know were done to these kids, because trust me, when it popped off, I already knew about it, and I was following it, and I was horrified to know that in the state of Georgia, everybody turned their head the other way as children with disabilities who can't even talk for themselves or advocate for themselves, but are cognitively aware that what is going on is not okay. I was horrified to know that our governor was involved with the experiments that were being done on these kids. Furthermore, the superintendent who keeps threatening us with pending litigation based off of his thoughts, thinking that we somehow screwed over contracts that he himself screwed over. And again, I'm going to stay on OCGA and sunshine laws. I'm going to die on that hill because this man does not seem to understand he cannot use anything off of social media to sue taxpayers. Homie, it is clear as day. You can't do that. Your law firm is stupid for allowing you to run your mouth because you're giving us more ammo, so keep doing it. Maybe not. Let me get back to what I was saying. The reason I'm doing this because, like, we want to go forward with all the things that we have going on, but the problem is that, like, the level of retaliation and intimidation that has been slung our way has put individuals in that district who he has taken pot shots at and thrown attorneys at. They can't function. None of us, when my Ring camera goes off, I hyperventilate. I am now no longer able, like, my medication that I've taken to prevent panic attacks and to lessen the symptoms of my PTSD that was induced by a superintendent in DeKalb County whom I helped get fired, that medicine no longer works. We're not looking at the Georgia DOE. We ain't looking at due process. We are not touching anything at the state level. All right, so let's just put that out there. What they're doing is so toxic, it has to be approached at a level that he and nobody in this state has control over. Now, I said that from the jump. I said that this would never see the light of day in the state of Georgia due to everybody I have seen involved in it. Everybody that knows about it, everybody that's got their names and agreeing to said, actions. I mean, there are senators that haven't even been sworn in that have been turning their head, acting like it hadn't been happening. So, let me just reiterate. You sent the letter the first time, meaning your law firm. You sent the partner away. You sent the partner away because you, as a superintendent, thought when you were replying to one of us in an email, you thought you were replying about an email that had been sent to you because said person was filing a complaint with the Georgia DOE, instead of checking who you hit reply all to, you sent that mom ironclad evidence of the individual we knew created the K-5 curriculum known as SEAD, S-E-A-D. You know, your skills group. And then you're over here acting as if it's not therapy. You keep saying it's not therapy. Really? the data that I'm going to release is going to prove that you're wrong on that. Because the therapy that you administered or you allowed to be administered on minors without parental consent, the data is crystal clear. And let's remind taxpayers, how did we get that data? What did we as taxpayers have to do in order to get records and data that falls under IDEA, but also falls under OCGA? What did we have? Oh, that's right. We had to get our lawyer involved. So you would send records to us legally without making us pay and or making us come up there in person to get them. Y'all had already threatened us. Anyway, so we already knew who wrote that curriculum. And it was really funny for us to see that when you hit that reply all, you actually put her name in the email. And hey, I thought we had this shored up. I thought everything was taken care of. What's going on with this? Within an hour of you realizing, oh my God, I sent that to the wrong person, Corey Kirby wasn't the one that delivered the email to us, was he? No, it had to be the partner. You thought there would be more teeth in it if it was the partner. Well, he sent the letter to us. It was not encrypted. There was no passwords. There was nothing binding. Nothing. We didn't have to sign anything. So there's that. Which, as you know, I'll talk to your law firm about that later because y'all sloppy. Anyway, moving forward. So here we are. This started in July. It is now November. It's almost, like I'm trying to be in my bag with the holidays, but it's really hard to get my bag with the holidays when I got some psycho in Hall County who needs to be put back on his leash and his medication and kept away from the public. He really needs to be kept away from kids. Anyway, it's hard to relax. It's hard to gain weight. It's hard to function. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to do anything. It's hard for us to even be on video. It's hard for us to be on the I've got a mom right now. Like I said, she's my best friend. I filed the complaint with the state of Georgia. They found it sufficient to investigate. But here's the thing. The mom is so upset because she lives in Hall County. And now this is my mama. This is my best friend. Right? She is so scared for herself and her family, she won't have anything to do with meeting with the investigator assigned to this systemic complaint that I filed. That is what we're dealing with. And for everybody in the state of Georgia who knows me, who knows that I've spent my every waking moment that I wasn't doing my paying job, everybody in the state of Georgia that knows that about me has turned their head and accepted it. I've never in my life been ghosted like this, ever. But I'm going to say this. Due to them ghosting me, due to the entire literacy community who knows me, due to every single one of y'all too, because if you haven't noticed, I've stopped interacting with y'all too, because I don't want nothing to do with y'all anymore. Y'all are so damn transparent. You're not transparent. You're actually really, really bad at hiding how much you don't give a shit as long as your pockets are being lined. All right. So I've ghosted everybody. I blocked everybody. I kicked everybody off of my Facebook friends list. My public one, I'm locking that down now because you know what? None of you have stepped in to help. None of you have even said, hey, Lauren, are you doing okay? What's going on? I keep seeing these videos of a superintendent going sideways and slandering, and I see you posting that they're trying to threaten a law. Are you okay? Nobody in this community gives a shit about me. So as far as me giving a shit about y'all, no, I don't. I've done my job. I've done my job as a mom. I've done my job as a person that cares about kids. I've done my job as just like a decent human. I've spent 10 years doing that. Prior to that, I was advocating for everything else. So This is my fuck you, I'm done. This is also me going, thanks a lot. Fuck all y'all. Because in the time when I need people to step up the most, in a time when I need my allies that you all swore you were, you all told me that you hated Will Schofield, you all told me you hate Hall County, you all told me these things, and you were all excited when I finally nailed him. And then when the other systemic complaint came in, you were so super excited about that. In fact, you even put in my text message, let me know if the Georgia DOE actually does anything. You guys swore up and down that you would have my back. You actually got on the phone with me to de-escalate me after I got that pending litigation email from that law firm. What you didn't bet on was the fact that I'd already outplayed you. I already knew what you were doing. I already knew you were trying to simmer me down to make sure I didn't get out. So I'd already made a backup contingency plan. Trust me. You're not smart. You all think you are. You're either lawyers or whatever you do for a living. At every single angle, you have underestimated me. At every single turn, you have underestimated me. I have told you repeatedly, I grew up in law firms. And they weren't the nice lawyers. They didn't deal with school districts. They dealt with the worst of the worst. So when it comes to arguing OCGA, when it comes to arguing things in the state of Georgia, very well versed in it. See, the thing is, I had OCGA burned in my brain before I had IDEA burned in my brain. Because that's all I knew. But y'all keep calling my bluff, and y'all kept calling my bluff. And so y'all are about to come speak in this district. And I'm going to put this video out for everybody to watch. Here's what I'm going to tell y'all, though. Everybody on that council, everybody that's going to show up and show their faces, know this. Your names, your email addresses, everything has already been handed off to the individuals that live in that community that need to have a whole conversation with you. So if you get hit up with some emails and some phone calls, understand those are the people that have been directly impacted by your willingness to turn your head and act as if you're the literacy darlings on the national stage. Let's just get this straight. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. And SB 48, yeah, oh yeah, no, you really didn't do it. Yeah, no, you didn't touch that. You didn't do that, did you? Nope, I did that one. HB 538, what'd you do? Nothing. You know how I know? Because the only thing you did was show up to a screening that Cox Campus paid for. That's it. That's all you did. That's all you did. You're not the literacy darlings. You're gatekeepers. And you're gross. And your true colors are showing. And I want absolutely nothing to do with the true colors and the nature of you. And the likes of you. Because I don't know how you sleep at night knowing that one of the moms that pushed to get you on that national stage, to get you on those conferences, I don't know how you sleep at night knowing that the mom that pushed the hardest, the mom that was the loudest, the mom that would raise hell and be told to calm down, how do you sleep at night knowing that that mom is being threatened with litigation by a superintendent that you told me in writing repeatedly that you hated? You know who you are. Both of you know who you are. And to the senator who took the ESSER dollars, you know who you are. I know you all hate him. So why are you letting me take one for the team? Either grow a pair, grow a spine, or get the hell out of the spotlight that you did not earn. You did not do any of that work. That was our work. That was Mom's. You had nothing to do with it. And furthermore, here, this is for Bethany because she's the one that did everything. That's her bill. That's her bill. And you have her as an afterthought. You suck. All right.